Thank you all for joining us. What we're doing is we're playing a little bit of D&D. It's my first time GMing a game, so I brought together some of my bestest friends in the world. We got my brother, of course, Mr. TJ Hunt.
That's hi. Mr. TJ Hunt to you.
Okay. We got Mr. Jeffrey Hogan.
Hello.
Mr. Brandon Ripke.
Who's eating?
And and Mrs. Jessica. It says S here, but I thought it was Petito.
I go Jess Petito.
That works.
I don't know, it messed up.
Okay. Hi! Okay, Mrs. Jess Petito. So,
we'll stop on the music.
No, we're continuing with the music. So, let me know when Brandon gets back. I'll just edit this part out.
Just gonna
hear you guys, so...
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. As long as he can hear. Alright, so... we are playing with Roll20, and there was a built-in campaign, and it's called The Master's Vault. So we're going to be starting with that, and then I'll be evolving the adventure into more customized stuff. Some of my story that I'm putting together right now in my head and everything. But this is a great way to start, so we're just going to dive right into it. So for you guys, it was 6 months ago that Ilaria Feywing, known as the... fuck this. It was...
Oh, fuck.
It's not... Alright, here we go.
Here we go.
It was 6 months ago that Ilaria Feywing, known through the kingdom of Skylark as the Master, took you all as pupils. The old elf woman's skills in magic, combat, and survival are legendary. She trained Marigold the Brave, who slew the infamous Great Blue Dragon Draxthis, and Bluton Buttertree, who closed the demon portal of Nargoth, and so many other famous heroes. Of all of her would-be treasure seekers, mercenaries, and do-gooders that came to her doorstep, begging for her wisdom, it was you who were selected by Ilaria. Why did you come to the Master's Mansion before beginning your life of adventure? Let's start with TJ.
Alright, so, I'm... Basically, my name's Visair, Guile. I come from a small village up north. And, you know, like, I never really thought much about adventuring until, I was mostly farming, families, just live life like you do. And then, well, there was this attack of direwolves on the town. They tore through the guards really bad. It was sort of like a gnarly situation. So, you just sort of find yourself involved in these things every once in a while. And it was then that I realized I had some real magical potential, fire from the fingers, that sort of thing. I didn't kill any direwolves, but I did manage to burn enough to run them off the town. And, it's a real supportive community I come from. So they were like, let's get you trained up. Let's they kind of invested in me, really helped me out. So, they sent me off. Like when I got this invitation, they heard about it. They gave me some money, and they've sent me off. It's my goal to become the greatest sorcerer in all the lands, and Visair's a name that will go down in history as long as I can have anything to do with it.
Perfect.
So good. I just
hell yes,
love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Be happy you don't have a camera on us right now.
Oh no, it's fine. And then, all right, Jess, you're next.
Okay.
What brought you to the Master's Mansion before beginning your life of adventure?
Vengeance brought me to the Master.
Ooh.
As a child, I was raised with my father in the Demon Plains until he was murdered by another planar creature. He took me as a slave at the age of 6, trained me, and began me on my way to learn fighting. Then one day I was rescued from a band of Crime Plane adventurers that had come in. As a tiefling, most of them just thought they should leave me behind after my master ran away. But the druid in the group brought me back to her tribe and raised me as one of her own. And from there, I trained with her for a good 15 years, perhaps, before my entire clan was murdered and we were attacked. I don't remember the assailants. I woke up to see my entire clan dead. And I wasn't strong enough. So I am coming to the master so that she can train me to be the best. Because their death is necessary.
Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, Jeff, your turn.
My name is Shanath. I am the last surviving pupil of the Shanath Monastery. I am born Goliath, though exiled at birth to die in the elements for reasons that are unknown to me. As a disheveled, starving, and illiterate half-giant wandering the wilderness, I was discovered by the monastery acolytes, taken back to their home, taught in the ways of equilibrium, harmony, and inner focus. I learned quickly. I became strong, peaceful. I had finally found a home. The masters at the monastery had taken a vow of silence, and only once in their entire lives could they break this when the time was right. The great master of the monastery broke his in order to tell me of all the rituals, teachings, and practices that could not be learned through inner focus. For an entire day and night, I listened, studied, and memorized every word he said. After years of training, a second master broke his vow of silence, and that is a day I will never forget. A crusading army, hell-bent on destroying anything they thought of as a heretical belief system, rampaged through the monastery. Although my brothers and sisters were strong, gifted warriors, they were no match to the legions of zealots at our doorstep. I wanted to fight. I wished to battle, to fight alongside my brothers in this great war, but they would not let me. They disabled me with nerve strikes and powers that I did not even know existed, locked me in the basement, where the last surviving master broke his vow of silence to tell me that because the Grand Master had spoken to me with his one and only day of words, that he would not allow me to go down with the monastery. I awoke days later and walked out to see that not even one brick was left attached to another of my home. I developed a burning rage and guilt and despair that these zealots, these religious invaders, would claim divine influence to commit such atrocities. And now war with my inner self to regain my peace and harmony and focus with the universe, while seeking out any zealotous fool who cloaks himself in righteousness in order to hurt others. And if I find them, I will destroy them. I come to the Master's teaching looking to expand my knowledge. I do not like other people. I do not like outsiders. But I am now the last remaining pupil of my home. I am the living monastery, and I must seek my influence and my training everywhere.
Nice.
Very nice. All right, so Brandon, tell us a little bit about Bloodscale.
Jesus Christ. Fucking guys, you're long-winded.
Yeah, I didn't write that down.
You ever break out of a slaver's cart? You ever wander aimlessly in the middle of nowhere until you find the first place that looks habitable? You ever offer, free labor? Just, for a roof and maybe some bread? That's all I got here!
Perfect. So,
sucks.
Bloodscale was, and what brings him to Alaria and the Master?
I don't know. I'm being dragged around in a cart from different arena to different arena. I don't know what's going on. I'm just done with it.
All right. How about?
You want to sleep somewhere that's nice? They got a barn. Sweet.
Okay.
Anything done?
So how about she came across you in her adventures, saw your potential, and brought you back to train with her?
That worked.
Perfect. So those were really nicely done, guys. I had damn, I got goosebumps at certain points. No lie.
Nice.
So,
Yay! Woo!
yeah. So you all gain inspiration because you guys came up with really good backstories. So you get one free D6 to add to any skill check.
Just once per this encounter, or?
Yeah, once per tonight.
And that was add a d6?
Yep, add a d6 to anyone, and you can do it after you've rolled. So.
Ooh, in the upper right hand of the D&D character sheet, there's a little inspiration button that you can track with.
Yeah. All right. So with that, this is the where you guys will be adventuring tonight. This is Lake Maranthe. It's the Miriam Vale overall. You have Parabor, the city in the middle on the lake. You have the Dolar Forest to the northeast, Icebound Peaks to the northwest, the Karagon Ranges to the southwest, and this is where you'll be at. So there's also the Staircase Cliffs directly west. So with that, let's get you to breakfast. Did that transition for everybody nicely?
Oh, look at us.
Chillin'.
Like villains, as though we were. Alright, so over the last half year, you've learned through Ilaria Faywing is intense, but fair, and encouraging. Though the Master is over 8 centuries old, her elf blood keeps her thin, lithe, and a youthful, which allows her to enforce a rigorous training regimen. You are each learning different skills in magic, combat, and more. But you all take your meals together. You're sitting down at a long table, enjoying your hot breakfast together.
Nom, nom.
And Elira puts down her porridge spoon, stands up at the head of the table, looking at you all, and her golden hair frames her green eyes that are just green orbs glowing in her face. She cracks a smile as she begins speaking. It's time for your first test in real combat. We have a rat infestation in the basement. A giant rat infestation. They are of an unusual size, you might say.
Hey-oh.
I managed to contain them in the larder, but they'll soon eat through all of our supplies, and the door itself, if you don't go down there to exterminate. Her green eyes twinkle with a mischievous delight as she adds, I also seem to have misplaced the key to the larder after locking them in, so you'll have to go through the door and past the barricade I set up so you can get to the rats. The Master sits back in her chair and puts a spoonful of porridge to her lips. Before actually eating, she looks at all of you and says, Well, what are you waiting for? You know by now that's your cue to head down to the basement. So what do you want to do?
I think that's a cue to head down to the basement.
Well, there's different things you can do.
Oh, alright.
You know, like, is there anything you can think of to try? You have so many checks and things.
Alright, let's see. What can I do? I will... I'm just gonna roll a perception check real quick.
Okay.
Boop-a-doo.
Let's see what you get. Alright, so I'll give you a disadvantage because she's centuries old and very good at hiding her intentions. So a 9, you think, okay, so you know that she's being honest. There are rats in the basement, and you need to go exterminate them.
Wait, so the right number is the disadvantaged?
Yeah, the lower
Okay,
number is the disadvantaged.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I, as a druid, don't feel comfortable killing nature's beasts. I would like to go down to the basement and see if I can't use my animal handling to bring them out.
Oh, you know what? I'm also trained in animal handling. I might be able to help with that.
Unfortunately, animal handling doesn't work that way. You have to. That's like a kind of a beast mastery thing. Like it's more of you'd have to have control animal in order to control them like that. And handle animals more for trained animals like horses or dogs or something. You can handle them safely and not have to worry about doing extra checks and stuff. So good thought though. I did not expect that.
I'm going to begrudgingly follow everybody else down to the basement, but I'm not happy about it.
That's perfect.
I would like to do just a history check. Maybe we can learn a little bit more about where we are.
Okay. You don't know shit.
We're in a house, guys.
Yeah, okay, you know you're at the Masters, and she's your current, trainer. You look up to her, and she likes you guys as her students.
Alright. I'm going to try a persuasion real quick.
Okay, perfect. What are you going to try to persuade her to do?
Let me hit the roll, and then I'll do a little spiel. Okay. Ooh.
Do you want to add your d6?
Yeah, just because you brought it up. Alright, let me roll real quick. Just doing physical dice here.
I can't see that.
Right, I can do it on the board.
Yeah, so just go to your dice
roll space 1d6.
There you go. So you got a 5? Perfect. Okay.
So, we all know by now that basically everything you send us to do is a test of some kind. Do you think maybe just this once you could give us a little bit of a preview of what we're actually doing?
You know, you have been tested very thoroughly throughout your training, so I think I'll take one obstacle out of your way. Here's the key to the ladder, so you can open the door. She pulls,
thank you.
The sneaky lady reaches behind herself, pulls a key out from the belt of her belt of her dress, and then hands it to you, and says, "Well, you know, I've always said that being able to talk your way out of it and into a situation is sometimes better than violence. So, good luck and have fun in the ladder."
Yeah, we'll save ourselves from having to replace the door later.
Well done, little man.
All right.
Only little to you.
So with that brings you guys down into the larder. I hope you guys enjoyed that session of D&D. We've got a lot more coming up, and you'll find out what happens in the larder next time with us and D&D on Hitchhiker of the Mind. I'm Hitch, and I'm saying bye, guys. Take it easy.